Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first time that you are visiting this place, then my name is Stephanie Lorimer. It has been so long, it's probably been like a couple of weeks, but we're counting it. It has been so long, I don't even know how to be in front of the camera anymore. Life has been hectic, everything's been in the way. There are so many projects that I'm working on at the moment that I will be able to share with you soon, and I'm so excited to announce to you. But yeah, it's been manic. Sorry, I'm on a swirly chair and I'm really enjoying it. It has been manic, and so yeah, I'll go through a few of the bits and hopefully you will understand why I have not been here. Your girl went AWOL. Last week I had surgery. It was only like an hour-long surgery. I think it was my 9th or 10th surgery. I lost count. Last week I had surgery, so I took some time to recover and rest and look after myself and make sure that I was able to recover in the best way possible. I just realised that the dishwasher is on in the background, so if you can hear that, then I'm really sorry. Girls gotta do dishes. We don't like mess. So on top of the surgery, I've been looking after my niece and nephew for the past 2 weeks. As much as I love them, it has very much put me off having kids, and I think it's put Diego off kids too. So yeah, on top of taking care of the kids, 2 rabbits, a dog, a boyfriend, and a house, I had the surgery as well. And obviously, like I said, I have loads of projects in the works. So yeah, it's just been a bit crazy, and I haven't really had any, not motivation, I haven't really had the time or the energy to be able to sit down and talk to you guys, and I feel really bad about that. I'm sorry, I should make more time, but I just haven't felt myself. Which leads nicely into today's video. As you can tell from the title, today was my girl's birthday. Now, if you know me or you have seen me on my social media, I've talked a lot about dissociative identity disorder, which is also known as multiple personality disorder. I don't know if they had the disorder on or not. Anyway, I was diagnosed with this disorder last year, exactly a year ago today, and as a whole, we decided that we were going to have a little birthday for them because they don't have an actual birthday. And with the amount of personalities I have, it would take most of the year to throw birthday parties. So we thought that we'd have one day to collectively celebrate them, and yeah, it was really nice. But what I thought I would do is, to celebrate them, I would come on and talk a little bit about D.I.D, what it is, how it affects life, and just keep you guys in the loop. So throughout this video, if I get a bit weird, I mean, I'm weird anyway, but if I get even more weird than usual, it is because it is a very difficult topic to talk about. It took me a long time to discuss it with my girls. If you ever hear me say my girls, I'm usually talking about the other personalities because they are all girls, and as a collective they decided to be called the girls when we're kind of talking about all of them as a whole. So I talked to them and they were finally happy to be known to the world and to talk a little bit about D.I.D. But like I say, it is a very intense and personal topic, so although I won't be going into too much detail about my personal experience, I think that I will probably end up being a little bit weird because that's the way I cope with things. Plus, you may end up seeing some of the other personalities like come out through me. They probably won't front because they don't like cameras, but you will be able to see all of our crazy personalities wrapped into one. Let's go. Dissociative identity disorder, also known as D.I.D. What is it? I'll tell you. D.I.D is a sort of coping mechanism or survival technique that children develop at a very young age. It's when they're going through intense trauma or severe abuse as they are growing up, and it's as you are developing into the kind of person you want to be, your brain gets a little bit confused with the abuse or trauma that's going on, and it doesn't really know how to cope with it. So instead of just forming one personality, you form several. It depends on the intensity of the abuse or the severity of it, or the trauma. It usually involves abuse, not just trauma. Nobody will have a set amount of personalities. Like, you can keep on developing them as you grow older. You could be 20 years old and have like 10 personalities, and then you could get to 30-year-olds and have 30-year-old I cannot talk. Or you could get to 30 years old and have like 50 personalities. So it's not really like you have a limit. No, you can create as many as you want and you don't even realise you're doing it. Anyway, myself at the moment, we have got to 26. That's including me. So I have me and then 25 other personalities. Now, this isn't scary. Like, come on. This ain't no movie about us being serial killers. It isn't like that. They just want to make out that we want to kill everybody. Only some people. I'm kidding. I gotta be careful or my lawyers will be on my case. No, it's not like that. So we don't want to go around and kill everyone. And it isn't scary. It does impact your life a lot. Since last year, my life has changed heavily, but I think that if people saw me out in the street, they wouldn't realise that there was anything different about me. These personalities, for me anyway, they don't come out every single day. There are people out there that have them come out every single day, several times a day, different personalities. For me, each of mine have a certain job. They know what they're there to look after me for. They know when they need to come out. So it's kind of like every day, as long as I'm functioning and I'm doing okay mentally, then they feel like they can just sit in the background and watch and wait until I need them, which is great. It's like my little backup. If you don't like me, just pick a personality. You're bound to like one. Okay, but for real. So these personalities, like I say, they are created during the time of abuse. Anytime there is something majorly traumatic or if there is severe abuse, you will create another one when you're younger. This is so that you do not have to take on the abuse yourself. You create another person or personality to come in and take the abuse for you so that you do not have to do it. Which I think makes us pretty smart. Mom, I'm intelligent. Joking aside, this is very serious. So, people with D.I.D don't usually get diagnosed with it until they are in their adult years. This is because obviously when you're growing up, you are trying to find yourself, you're trying to develop this personality of who you want to be, and it's not until kind of later on that they actually start to front and you realise that this isn't you. However, there are some kind of symptoms, I guess, some little signs that you can see when you are younger. So for example, for me, I cannot remember years of my life, like when I was a child. During the time of abuse and trauma, there are years where I cannot remember anything. Or there's like little snippets I can remember. Not where, like when you're younger, it's like, oh, I was young, I don't really remember that. That I can remember nothing. There's also derealisation. You can look at a picture of yourself or even look in the mirror and you're like, that is not me. You could even look at your hand and be like, this is not my hand. This is my hand, but this isn't my hand. That happens to me quite a lot. I got to my sister and I'm like, hey, this isn't my wrist, but this is my wrist. What's going on? That's derealisation. So each of these personalities, they're also called alters. They each have a job to do. So there's different roles that they take on. A few of mine, there's a protector, there's like emotional protector, there's physical protector. I have a fitness one. She doesn't come out very much. Look at me. I have an alter that cooks, one that bakes, one that does makeup. So whenever you see my makeup done really gloriously, that's not me because I can't do anything artistically. I have one that is an artist. I have musical ones, I have foreign ones, I have ones that speak different languages. And the best thing about them all is that they all have different accents, ages, and they're just completely different from each other. It's amazing. So sometimes, I mean, you'll probably notice it more now than ever, but during some of my videos, you will notice that my voice changes a lot. Sometimes I will be ultra posh, other times I will sound really kind of slang-y. I don't think that's the word. I won't be the most posh in the world, let's put it like that. Other times you could hear a bit of a northern twang. There's a million different accents that I have from all of these personalities. This is called coexisting. This means that it's almost like when you're driving a car and they're the passengers. They are just there and they're able to see everything and they're able to interact, but they're doing it through you. When they actually front, they come out fully with their accents, with their personalities, everything, and I'm knocked into the background. I'm in the boot, I can't see a thing. This, like I say, is called fronting, and this is also known as like a blackout for people with D.I.D. So when they fully front, usually the main person in the system won't be able to see a thing. It's like they've passed out and they come back around in another room. Sometimes it can be funny. I've woken up in the bathroom several times. But sometimes it can be a bit scary. Sometimes I've woken up in the middle of a random street somewhere where they've tried to take me to a shop or something and got a bit lost and brought me back. Or there's other times where I've woken up in hospital. This is because I have one who, because of my endometriosis and the pain that I suffer, if I'm not able to cope, one of my alters will come through. I'm trying not to give away names here, sorry, because they don't really want me to do that yet. So one of them will come through to take the pain from me, and then when they think that I'm able to come back and deal with it myself, they'll bring me back, and that usually is when I'm in hospital. This is quite a lot of information. I've been talking for a few minutes, quite a few minutes now. There is a lot to D.I.D. It is an absolutely fascinating experience to go through, and the diagnosis, if you read about it, is absolutely incredible. I'm actually, like, I would love to write about it on some kind of blog or something. I don't think I could do YouTube on it because mine are with my abuser, I used to get put onto Facebook and social media a lot. Even when I didn't want to, there'd be pictures of me in hospital and stuff, like lying in ICU after surgery and things like that. So they very much don't like cameras now, so they won't front themselves on camera. So I don't think that I could really do a D.I.D. series on that with them. But I think that writing is like a really big part of my life and I absolutely love it. So who knows, maybe I'll publish a book one day. I'm just kidding, I haven't like got that in the works. No, for real, I haven't got it in the works. But anyway, I will drop some links in the description below to some really helpful websites about dissociative identity disorder. It is I think it's becoming more and more common nowadays because obviously it happens when you're a child and you don't get diagnosed until you are older. I had a hair tickle in my arm. But it's still noticed as quite a rare thing. A lot of people don't understand it or don't know what the actual term is. A lot of doctors don't kind of understand how to treat it. It's not a treatable thing, it's just kind of like we find ways to cope with it and get along with them, our personalities, to move on with life. But a year ago today, the D.I.D. had started coming out probably earlier last year, in about May, June time. It didn't come out in the best ways. I started getting told that I was drinking a lot, I was like properly getting drunk, that I was swearing like massively, and back then I was quite a religious girl, so I didn't swear. They were saying that I was just acting, I was just off the rails, and I didn't remember any of it. Then it was becoming I'd wake up in hospital because there were suicide attempts, and I didn't recall any of it, and I was like, did I get drunk? Like, did I get drunk and then get upset? And like, I don't understand why this is happening because I'm feeling okay. At that point, I wasn't having any problems with depression or anything. Like, obviously I had it, but my depression, anxiety wasn't spiking in any way, so I was so confused. So after seeing a lot of doctors, spending time in hospital and having the close support of my family and counsellors and therapists, we ended up being able to get a hold of Dr. Remy in the dissociative identity disorders world. I can't remember what company he works for, but he is the UK's lead specialist in D.I.D. I thought I heard noise. So unfortunately, because there is not a lot of funding or awareness about D.I.D, I couldn't really get the support and help that I needed through the NHS in the UK, so I decided to go private, and I sought out Dr. Remy Arquone. I'm really sorry if I haven't said that right. But like I say, Dr. Remy is the UK lead specialist in D.I.D, and he was able to give me a full diagnosis and treatment plan and recommend what kind of therapies and everything I needed, and it was a major help, and yeah, I got my D.I.D diagnosis. So that was a year ago today that I finally got the diagnosis of having my girls, and since then we have been closer than ever. We have moved away from all the drama where it kind of all started and it was just triggering a lot of the D.I.D for me. We moved away, we started fresh, and I could not be happier than ever. And my girls are completely over the moon and they don't have to front as much anymore, which is great for them. Now I just get to offer them the chance to come out and cook, or come out and bake, or come out and draw, or anything that they want, and they can just live a happy life alongside me rather than coming out for any abuse or trauma. So I definitely recommend you research anything you can about D.I.D, have a look at some videos online. Be careful with what you watch about it, because some of them aren't always the most accurate. Like I say, it's different for everybody. I have a very different case to somebody else because we have not gone through the same abuse and trauma. So just keep that in mind. But I hope that this video was a little bit insightful. It's been so lovely to have the girls allow me to be able to talk a little bit about it. Helps you guys get to know me a little bit more and why I'm so crazy and why I might change every now and then. But yeah, it's been really, really nice to be able to just talk about it and share it with you guys. And now you know a little bit more about me and my girls. So on camera, I just want to wish my girls a happy 1st birthday. And I can't wait for many, many more with you girls, and I love you all so much. Thank you for helping me to cope and to survive. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video with us, and we will see you in the next one.